Welcome to Sports Ramble. My name's Joe Silik, and I'm joined by Big D Dennis Pond and our host, Corbin Rush. And I gotta ask, Dennis, why are you dressed like that?
I must tell you, we are gathered here today to grieve, to remember the good times we used to have in this league. But today we are grieving the integrity of calling and refereeing in the NFL because it is obvious that it is long gone. So this is the funeral for the integrity of the NFL.
R.I.P. Rest in peace.
Yep. Rest in peace.
Yep.
It was a good run. We had a good run.
We had a good run. So I'll agree with that. Honestly, both games, the reffing was pretty bad.
It was horrible. Don't even beat around the bush. It was absolutely awful.
It was awful. In both games, there was not a good game this weekend, which is really concerning considering this was the biggest stage besides the Super Bowl. Like, this is the second biggest weekend in NFL football, maybe in football in general throughout the year. And it was atrocious. I mean, there was bad calls. All right, so we're going conspiracy theories tonight, boys. And listen, the NFL wanted Philly, and the NFL wanted Kansas City in the Super Bowl. What was the thing?
It was blatantly obvious.
Blatantly obvious. And we can start with the Philly game, and we'll just kind of work back over to the Chiefs-Bengals game because we're going to probably talk about that for 30 minutes on its own.
The thing is, the Philly game's not even that bad, so it's a good way to kind of build up to what happened in the AFC game.
Yeah, because with Philly, Philly was going to win regardless. I called
Philly. Yeah, okay, I was wrong. We get it. Yeah,
I called Philly by 20. It ended up being Philly by 24. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, we both had Philly, but the game would have been a lot closer if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt. Actually, before we dive into conspiracies, I have something to say to all the Brock Purdy doubters out there. Everybody's been talking about how you put any quarterback in that offense and they'll succeed. You put anybody there and you could throw a blind rat out there and it'll be successful at quarterback. No,
you said that about 2 months ago. You also said that.
No, I was always arguing that Brock Purdy was a good quarterback. You were arguing that because you were saying you could throw Nate in there and be like, oh yeah, Nate will be able to play quarterback. So what I'm saying is Brock Purdy, he has a handle on the offense. He understands it's very complicated, and you have to know the progressions. You have to know the reads. You have to know what you're looking for in the defense to make the right checks. Brock Purdy is excellent at that. You can tell he's really studied the playbook, knew what he was looking for, watched a lot of film, was prepared. And when you don't have a guy that's ready like that or even capable like that, because his decision-making, in my opinion, is better than Jimmy Garoppolo's. And we don't have a big enough sample size for Trey Lance, but I don't think Trey Lance was as good as Brock Purdy was and his starts versus again, small sample size. And one of Trey Lance's starts was in a downpour, like a torrential downpour. So you can't.
But it was still against the Chicago Bears, against a similar style of quarterback, and he lost.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things to be said, but for anybody out there who's doubting Brock Purdy, you better shut up after this weekend because we saw it does not just plug and play for quarterback in that offense.
It is not.
You have to have a guy there. And also,
to be fair, Josh Johnson played decently well for his short spout in the game. And then he gets injured.
Yeah.
Bro, he was scared.
He looked better than a lot of other backups would have been in that position.
He was he was more scared than a house cat running from a Rottweiler, I'm telling you.
Well, when you have Hassan Reddick just
beaten
down.
It's hard not to be scared when you're going against that defense.
Yeah. I don't know. I just I look at that and I'm like, everybody that was like, oh, Brock Purdy's we're victims of the moment with him and anybody can succeed in this offense, blah, 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 blah. That was proven false in my opinion. Josh Johnson did not look nearly as capable as Brock Purdy. And Josh Johnson's been in the league for 15 years, just about.
10 years.
10 years. It's 13. He's been in the NFL 13 seasons. I'm pretty sure is the exact amount. But anyway, you look at it, he's a 13-year vet. And granted, he's been on 12 teams in those 13 years. But he's been in NFL offenses. You would think he'd look okay because I seen him play last year. He was competent. He had his moments. Brock Purdy, and again, San Francisco, you're going into another quarterback controversy in your offseason. I hate that for those fans, but we'll see what happens there. But
although to be fair, there are controversies against pretty decent quarterbacks. It's not like some other teams in the league where they have
Taylor Heineke,
who's the lesser of two evils kind of situation.
Yeah, like Taylor Heineke, Carson Wentz.
And
For
Sam
our-
Howell. And it could be Derek Carr.
Could be
It
Derek
could
Carr.
be Sam Howell. Should be Sam Howell.
I
But
said
yeah,
Sam.
so just to get back to like that game in general, like it wasn't even close, but like I don't know, it was just something like felt off. They had the guy come out at half. They gave some guy, an Eagles fan, tickets to the Super Bowl before the game, right? Like what was the deal with that? I know y'all were.
So let me I'll defend that real quick, because as big as I am on the conspiracy theories, I am going to defend that. They did that at every home playoff game. Like they gave home fans at every playoff game throughout this like postseason. They gave away tickets.
Okay, so that's what the story behind
Like
it is. Cause,
yeah, like in wild card, like the Vikings fans got tickets to the Super Bowl.
gotcha. Okay. All right, that makes sense. So
I'll defend that one.
Defend that one. But the calls, I don't know, man. I fell asleep at halftime. I'm not even gonna lie. I fell asleep at halftime of this game, and I didn't watch the rest of it because when it got 21-7 and Brock Purdy was hurt, I knew there was nothing that San Francisco was gonna be able to do to come back and win this game. So
you saw his UCL joint shot. He probably needs surgery.
is that what it is? Is it they had the MRI came out? Yeah. So
he's getting a technical opinion. He's probably going to get surgery.
That's awful. That might be
6
career ending
months
for
at
him.
least.
Yeah.
The UCL injuries are hard. That's what ruined Big Ben's career. So honestly, prayers to him because the guy's dying. I really hope his career isn't over after something like that because that would just be unfair. But
I think he's young enough he can come back from it.
yeah, we'll hope so. For sure. So, but he won't even be back.
Hell of a run either way. I mean, if it's
Yeah.
kind of a one and done season, I mean, that's something to hang your hat on.
I mean, the best Mr. Irrelevant has ever played at any given time in any NFL season, like by far. He's the best last pick that has ever existed. So, but just to you hate to see that for him because the guy's a gamer and he plays the game really well. Like you could tell, like he knows he's in control. He knows what's going on, especially in that Shanahan offense. And it's just like, without him, you knew this game was over. There wasn't much to watch. And Jalen Hurts didn't even play particularly well. You can tell Jalen Hurts' shoulder is bothering him, because he's been one of the best deep ball
either
throwers.
that or he's afraid of getting re-injured.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's still the shoulder bothering him any way you look at it. Because
physically.
Yeah, because you could tell he's been one of the best deep ball throwers this year. And he was just sailing balls over A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. But again, let's get into that real quick, the Devontae Smith thing. So
the catch that wasn't a catch.
Yeah.
To be fair, in real time, it looked like a catch.
In real time, it looked like a catch.
From every other angle, other than that one where it was kind of like down low.
Yeah.
But they got up and they snapped the ball. They did what they had to do.
So many times we see during the regular season or anything like that, the NFL, even the refs, like New York's calling down, they're like, hey, take a look at this. And they didn't even second guess it. And then Kyle Shanahan's like, and understandably so, because the only replay they had seen was the one behind. So you can't see the ball come out of his hand. So great acting by Devontae Smith too. But you knew he didn't catch it because he's over there let's go. He's doing the no huddle. He's like, hurry up. So he knew he didn't catch it. And then you have all this why didn't the refs look at it? Why didn't Kyle Shanahan throw the challenge flag? And I understand why Kyle Shanahan didn't, because the replay that they show on the board, it would have looked fine because they weren't seeing the other angle. But usually you get a call
post game,
yeah. And usually the refs get a call from New York because they're looking at it from every angle. So it was just weird how that it wasn't questioned at all.
Flipped through.
Yeah, just that among many moments. But I don't know, man. It was a good. I thought it was going to be better. We were going into halftime, and I was I think there was 3 minutes left, and it was 14-7. I was like, oh, I was close. It was 10-7, and then
no, it was 7-7. It was 7-7.
Yeah, no, it was 14-7 before the Josh Johnson fumble.
No, I'm saying when you told me what you were about to say, you told me it was 7-7.
Oh,
and
you
were like, oh, I told you it was going to be, it was going to be 10-7 going into half, and then the Eagles are going to pull away.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, it's 21-7. Josh Johnson fumbles a snap. Who was it? Byron Scott just takes off, dances in the end zone. And then I was like, all right.
Byron Scott?
I'm not watching anymore. The Sunday scaries were hitting too strong. I was like, I got to take a nap. I got to sleep this off, man.
Byron Scott, the legendary LA Laker.
Isn't that his name, though?
Boston Scott.
That's what I said. Boston Scott, right?
Yeah. Just go past it. Keep going.
No, that's what I said.
Yeah.
A Freudian slip, if you will. But no, I don't know. I thought it was no, not at all. but no, I don't know. I just sitting there and I'm like, man, this game really is not going to be a good one. Brock Purdy's hurt. Josh Johnson didn't look capable, and
then got hurt.
And then they didn't call they were going at Nick
And
Bosa's
then
legs,
faked
they
an
weren't
injury.
calling
Let
him.
me tell you what.
Who faked
Did
an
you see
injury?
his head bounce off the ground?
Happens to me every day.
Yeah, but you're Dennis. You live with brain trauma. Like that's a normal everyday event. I
My
mean,
natural state.
but okay, so that's all I have to say about the Eagles game. I thought it was going to be closer than that in the first half, but Brock Purdy gets hurt, and he didn't look great, but he was getting pressured. I think we were going to see like an evolution of Brock Purdy, but then his UCL gets snapped on his like first drive, so it is pretty sad. Christian McCaffrey though, guy's a dog. He was the only one out there like trying, but
That touchdown run.
unbelievable. Best run of the year. Best run of the year. But so that's all I gotta say. Joe, what do you guys say? Dennis, you guys got some words about this?
I don't
game?
have
Dennis.
I don't have too much to throw on top of that. I'll say I called 20 points. It was 24. Okay, I underestimated the Eagles. My bad. Officiating in this game specifically, since we're on the topic of officiating and conspiracies, I think it wasn't so egregious. Stuff was happening in real time. They weren't calling it because it was in real time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think there was some absolute like horrible calls on the San Francisco defense that let
the
Eagles score at least two touchdowns, two of their touchdowns at least.
They did not play well.
They also got
well. It's hard to play well.
Screwed on.
It's
calls.
hard to play well when you have when you're on the field 90% of the game.
It is.
I'm just saying,
but the calls were horrible.
They were valid calls.
And Jalen Hurts didn't play great.
No,
let's not pretend
he
like
didn't
Jalen
need
Hurts.
to though.
Yeah, he hasn't all year. He's so good at managing the field when he's out there. Sorry, Des, go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you.
You're hitting the nail right on the head, man.
It's just that's the difference between Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is a good NFL quarterback, and for an offense, I think he would be a good starter somewhere. But the way Jalen Hurts is able to manage the field is what sets him apart. Why I think
it's that one option, dude.
Yeah, and he does it so well, better than anybody else in the NFL.
Even though he's been running it scared the last two games.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
He knows what he has to do to win the game. And that's what Jalen Hurts is the game he's playing right. Although he's going to have to get over it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But anyways, what were you saying, Dennis?
Just how I don't think any of the calls in that game necessarily were like egregious. You know, it's playoff football. There's nothing really like so the defense just didn't play disciplined and they got called out for it and it happens.
Yeah.
Did they call too many? Like it's hard to say, but I think that game was not nearly as bad. There was a couple bad calls. You know, replay should have caught that non-catch in the first quarter. And
that really wouldn't have changed much, I don't think, to be honest with you.
No, it wouldn't.
I think San Francisco
with that injury coming down the pipe and everything.
Yeah.
For Hurts, it wasn't going to change much. Or for Purdy.
Yeah.
No. I mean, San Francisco dug themselves in a hole. I kind of want a little bit of forgiveness on my pick for picking San Francisco because of injuries.
Yeah. Brock Purdy's in, it's a different game. Brock Purdy's in, it's a different game. I'll give you
It's a much closer game at least.
Yeah.
I don't like Dennis's attitude with this guy.
I know. He's got shades on and all of a sudden he becomes a bad boy of the West. Button your shirt up, buddy. Nobody wants to see your chest views.
Yeah, that's all I got to say. Really, is like if Brock Purdy was playing Josh Johnson, honestly, if Josh Johnson stayed healthy, it would have been a slightly closer game. Okay, you guys can argue that. I think they got another one, maybe two touchdowns. He went down when? Like beginning of the third quarter?
Do you not remember the first sack he took? And Reddick took the ball like he was taking candy from a baby?
Fair enough, but I'm saying they have they didn't have a quarterback.
They really didn't. It was sad, man. And George Kittle seeing him after the game hurts my heart.
That was tough. Tough.
That one got me in my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. Because we love George. We love George.
Honestly, I can't stand Philadelphia fans. It's just this deep-seated hatred inside of me. So the fact that they get to celebrate and run around Philadelphia, burning it to the ground, just drives me crazy. And the problem is the 49ers put a jersey on the Rocky statue. Did y'all see that?
Yeah. No. You don't give Philly more motivation at home.
Exactly. No. Look what happened to Minnesota last year. Or not last year. When was it? 2017? Yeah, 2017, I think.
5 years ago?
2018. I don't know.
17.
That was horrible. Yeah, 2017 season.
Coming out of the season.
Yeah. I don't know. It's disappointing.
Yeah. It had potential to be a good game. It did. But it did. But Brock Purdy getting hurt, and then like San Francisco having to be on the field for 90% of the game with Jalen Hurts and that offense just dude, Jason Kelsey's he's the guy I'm cheering for now. But no, like again, seeing George Kittle hurt, and like why is everybody coming at George Kittle for saying like we didn't have a quarter? It sucks to lose. Like they didn't have a quarter. It's like people forget that Josh Johnson got hurt. Because I think people are taking it as like when he said that in his post-conference interview, they're like, oh, why did you say like he's saying Josh Johnson is a quarterback? It's like, no, he was just saying that like he got hurt and they had a guy that couldn't even throw the ball because his UCL's exploded.
Literally, his UCL exploded. So Johnson gets a concussion, goes out of the game, and they bring Purdy back in. He's got a freaking shredded UCL.
And he's still kind of throwing the ball. He was doing a little throw.
He was trying his best
5-yard passes.
He was trying.
Yeah.
But like,
dude, and also the tweets being like Purdy's a sissy, like he needs to get back on the field. He's like, yeah, man, eat those Totino's pizza rolls and talk crap about a guy whose arm is literally exploding right now. Like, good for you, man.
His injury didn't look that bad. They replayed it a million times.
No,
and like obviously you can
never look bad.
Exactly, that's what I was getting at.
Think about Dale Earnhardt, baby. Did it look bad?
Well,
no.
Yeah,
but it's just like sometimes. Like in those, it's like a non-contact knee injury. It's like, yeah, you see the guys hit the ground, but sometimes it's just like, what happened? All they did was plant, and then it's gone. And dude, when you have that guy, because it was Reddick, right? Reddick coming down the side, that was, I mean, hit him in the arm. That's a big dude barreling down at you, and you're coming full force, and you get all your elbows going forward while your arm's coming back, man. I mean, that's gonna mess you up, obviously. And he's not as big as Josh Allen, so like for him to not have the stature of Josh Allen, he's not gonna be able to handle something like that. But I don't know. That's all I got. All right, now I am. I'm done. I'm done with my 49ers Eagles spiel. So, if you guys have anything else to say, or do you guys want to jump into full conspiracy mode here?
Get at it.
Let's get at it. Okay. Well, how about we do a little breakdown and then we'll go full conspiracy mode. Bengals lose to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Joe Burrow allegedly. Joe Burrow, even with the calls, Joe Burrow didn't look great in this game, and I'm a Joe Burrow stan. He just didn't. But it's not 110% his fault. He hit Jamar Chase in the hands. He hit Hayden Hurst in the end zone in the hands. That's a 4-point swing. That's the game right there. So he gave his guys a chance to win, but their offensive line was miserable. I mean, it was the worst I've ever seen
in the first half.
It was 4 sacks in the first 2 drives. Yeah, like it. Chris Jones also played the game of his life, and he's the MVP in that one. Patrick Mahomes played decent. I mean, our Patrick Mahomes playing decent is a great AFC Championship game for any other quarterback. 2 touchdowns, like 300-something yards, and like it was like he was like what I think he was 29 of 43. So Patrick Mahomes played really well. Joe Burrow didn't play. He had 2 picks. One of them was an arm punt that you just throw up on 4th down. It was better than any punt you could have got in the first place, and it was almost completed. Honestly. I mean, it was just a great play by the defensive back to get one hand on it because he was falling back, and if he didn't, then T. Higgins catches that on like the 5-yard line. Running in. So Bengals offensive line, Joe Burrow tried his best. They had no rushing game. Joe Mixon couldn't get going. I mean, Joe Burrow was the leading rusher on the Bengals, if that tells you anything. So
with 30 yards.
With 30 yards. So it was just It was a great game. It was still a great game to watch until it wasn't, and it didn't get bad until the meat hit the fan. Whatever I'm trying to say. Hold on. I think I said that. But you know what I'm saying? Like when the all right, whatever.
Okay.
Here we go. So, but they end up losing 23-20. But we need to talk about what happened on the last drive. The last like few plays.
Couple drives.
Yeah, few drives. Blatant roughing.
You want to start with do you want to start with the third down situation?
Actually, yeah, Joe, take it away. Take it away.
So, third down, 3rd and long. Right. They don't convert. But magically, the clock was wrong. Even though they had just corrected the clock incorrectly. So then on the far side of the field, like on the screen, all the way in the upper left corner, I don't even think it was on the screen. So people at home couldn't see it.
No,
he only showed it when he panned full out. This one ref comes running in. No one heard a whistle because, I mean, you're an Arrowhead, first of all. Second of all, who knows if he even blew the whistle? We don't know. Trying to stop the play. No one saw him. I didn't see anyone on that field bat an eye that the play was going on.
Mhm.
They don't convert. Allegedly. Oh, they have to redo the down. They do have to redo the down. Okay, that's ridiculous. They get Patrick Mahomes sack. Oh, but there was it a pass interference or a hold? I think it was a hold, right?
On Eli Apple. Yeah.
On Eli Apple. Automatic first down.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
It was atrocious. Well, one
you can try to explain it as much as you want, like, oh, well, the protocol for when the play is supposed to be called dead and then isn't dead, it's just to redo the down. But it wasn't even tried to be called dead. He didn't blow the whistle. He just came in waving his arms.
It was bad. I remember me and Dennis were sitting there watching it, and it was a great defensive play. Remember that one? What I'm talking about? I don't even know if it resulted in points for the Chiefs, but it was like a 3rd and long, and Patrick Mahomes threw an out route, right, like a deep out, and it was an amazing play by I think it was the other corner, not Eli Apple. The other one came across, batted the ball down like perfect time, and they threw a pass interference on it, and I was like, yeah. Yeah, and I was sitting there, I was like, what are they calling that on, Dennis? And he was like, I got no idea. I can't even see
How many times did we were on FaceTime. How many times did I throw stuff across the room?
Too many. It was ridiculous. It was so bad. So on like the last punt, we'll just go there for real. Well, actually, no, let's go to the Bengals drive. Even before that, yes, they converted on the next play, but that's also one less play you have to use, one less down you have to use to move the ball. Joe Burrow was quite obviously hit late. I mean, it should have been a roughing the pass. Like what they've called more ticky-tacky fouls than that all year long, and then they're going to call that
not call that ticky-tacky fouls against the Bengals in that game.
Yeah,
forget about all year long in that game.
And you're not going to call that against Joe Burrow? Are you kidding me? So that number one, that's awful. And then the punt happens, and I don't know what the refs are looking at because
3 or 4 holding / blocking the backs.
Dude, the one guy that was on like right in front of the returner who had a chance to get him, shoved in the back, and I'm like, oh, that because me and this like, oh, that's blocking the back. Like we were like, oh, that's coming back, and we're looking, and even the commentators were talking about it.
Yep.
Even the commentators were like, oh, that'll be a block in the back, and then we're all looking around like, flag? Where's the flag? Where's the flag? Hello, mom. Flag? Hello? Like, they didn't call that. And then you have the Kansas City, which gets them on the 50-yard line. So Patrick Mahomes has 30 seconds to go 7 yards to get into field goal range. And then, they do what? They get them.
Here we go.
Yeah. So then we have what? The three play sequence, right? It's like the first play was a run, right, with Pacheco or whatever. And then it was the
Pacheco
incomplete pass. And so you have a 3rd and 4. And this is if you stop him here, it's a 60-plus yard field goal. And if you don't, you still have, I think it was, if you stopped him where Patrick Mahomes would have ran out of bounds, because Patrick Mahomes scrambles out to the right, and he gets the first down, and a couple yards past. So if you get that first down, it's I think a 58, 60-yard field goal. Obviously, it's going to be 60-plus if you stop him without things. So we're looking at, right, and we're watching the play develop. And first, Hendrickson is getting his jersey ripped off of his body in the backfield. And I'm like, oh, there's one. And then
he got covered with the arm around his neck.
Yeah. And he's literally getting choked, reaching for the freaking quarterback. And I'm like, okay, it's scramble drill. You have to throw the flag at that point. Maybe you let the hold go away because he's in the pocket. Because they let it go. Because almost every play you could call something, right? But on scramble drill, you have to call the hold because then you're impeding a defensive player from getting off the block,
Pressure,
to the So and they don't call it, and then boneheaded play by Asai. But
listen, let me come to the defense of the big man here. You got your momentum going. It's not like he dropped his shoulder and tried to pile drive him into the dirt.
He did shove him though.
That's a big man with a lot of momentum. The game's on the line. If you can stop him from getting that 1 extra yard, you're going to put your body out there to do it.
It was a fair penalty.
He got hurt. He got hurt on the play.
It was absolutely a penalty, though. That's what I'm saying.
I don't call that penalty.
He was 2
10
steps
so
out of bounds.
In that situation, I don't call that penalty. It's bang bang.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I think, in my opinion, if it's a penalty or not, like they called it, it happened. That one is more forgivable than not calling holding.
Oh yeah, no,
twice
100%.
on that same play,
100%.
or the roughing the passer on Burrow, or the block in the back. Like, it made no sense. And then the Bengals are getting no calls on defense and no calls on offense.
Yeah.
Like, or they're getting all the calls on offense. Like, they're getting holding. Oh, it seemed like every series, or not even every series, every like set of downs, there was a holding penalty on the Bengals O-line. And I know they're inexperienced and I know they're younger, but some of them was a little bit like, okay.
It just looked so rigged, man. It was so bad. How do you
It was
not
violently
into, like-
rigged. And that's why I'm dressed in all black, because we are grieving the loss of integrity in this National Football League. Because
so
it is
who's it
so
rigged?
blatantly obvious. And you know what else plays into it a little bit? You know how big of, there was still like the Kansas City was favored by what, 1.5, 2.5 points by going in that game?
And you get like a point and a half for being a home team. So
Yeah. So how many people was it? Like, what was there was some number I saw about the bets that were placed on Bengals money line.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. Are you going to sit there and tell me that all this happening, Patrick Mahomes, I meant to write up on a whiteboard a couple definitions for you guys. One specifically being Patrick Mahomes meat riders.
it's gotten out of control.
The
It really
whole
has.
like this clan of meat riders consists of like 93% of the Bengals or of the Chiefs fans, I'd say. Like, not everybody's going to be a meat rider, but like it's
Tony
gonna happen.
Romo and Chris Collinsworth.
Tony Romo is the cult leader. Patrick Mahomes throws a pass and he like swings his right leg around like as he throws it. Tony Romo is over there with his junk in his hand talking about, oh, he's the only quarterback in the league I've ever seen that would know to pull his leg out of the tackle. What? Dude.
What about, now that you're talking about that, what about the freaking intentional grounding? Where the running back is
Oh,
2 yards
yeah.
in front of the
No,
ball.
that is the most egregious call of the game.
Because then
How
you
is
call
it
the
right?
same penalty on Burrow.
You don't call, yeah, you like, how do you not, what is happening? I don't
Intentional
understand.
grounding. He's getting hit. He throws the ball right in a line with the running back that's 10 yards upfield.
Not
But he's
even, like
getting
3
hit.
yards upfield. 3 yards upfield. He was just
I'm saying
past
10
the line
yards
of
from
scrimmage.
him. He's 10
Oh,
yards
yeah.
from him. And it hits what? Probably 5 yards. Like, probably splits the difference between him and the running back.
Very clearly where it was going.
Very clearly, that's where he was trying to get the ball to. And he's getting hit. It's not going to be right on the money.
Yeah.
And you're going to throw a flag on that. And then you're going to review it and uphold the flag.
And then Patrick Mahomes does the same thing. He does the same exact thing and you don't call it? Are you serious? Joe, what were you going to say earlier?
It's
I was
Vegas
gonna
and
dive
Goodell.
into the, what'd you say?
It's Vegas and Goodell.
Well, see, here's the thing though, is if like online sports gambling, right, just become a big thing, it's still not like, we still have a bunch more states to expand this whole thing to. It's like, why would the NFL with the books, the sports books, start cooking games like this when they haven't even gotten to the peak amount of money being exchanged? So I think like it could, this could be rigged. I think the NFL wanted, the Eagles, the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because
the
Patrick
Chiefs
Mahomes
especially,
child.
because I got this thing. I just saw this thing a couple minutes ago before we went live.
Oh, yeah. What you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, Joe. Let them know, Joe. Let the people know.
Here we go. Super Bowl's in Arizona, right? Arizona Stadium, State Farm Stadium, Arena, whatever it's called, right?
Interesting.
Who's
I had
the
no idea,
poster
Joe.
child? Who's the poster child for State Farm in
I
their
don't know, Joe.
commercials during
Tell me.
NFL season?
Who is the
Who is it?
poster
I don't
child?
know.
Who is it, Joe?
Who is it?
Patty Mahomes.
It's Patrick Mahomes. You're kidding me. You're joking.
There's no way it's Patrick Mahomes. Joe, that would be too convenient.
it's
That would
too
be
easy.
too convenient.
It's too easy.
That would make too much sense if Patrick Mahomes, the poster child, he is the discount double check guy now for State Farm.
Don't even get me started about the New Heights podcast. Now it's like the #1 podcast all of a sudden out of nowhere. And let's just put these two brothers in the Super Bowl. Let's just make it look real good. And then you also have Andy Reid going and play Eagles, his first team in the stadium where his first start as a head coach was for the Super Bowl. It's too easy.
It's too easy.
But I don't think it's rigged, honestly. I think the refs are just that stupid.
It is rigged. Joe, it is rigged.
No, I think the refs are that bad. I think they're horrible. I think they need to do a whole rebrand on the officiating in the NFL. It's awful. Full-time refs. Enough of this part-time bullshit.
They have enough to pay refs $300,000 a year to ref 18, 19 games, whatever they're doing now. How many is it going to be after the Super Bowl? Because we got a 17-game regular season, right? And then a possible 20 game season. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going to have every single crew last that long. You're going to have crews that are only for 18 weeks.
Yeah, and then you get bonuses for being in the playoffs or whatever. There's a structure, there's a pay structure you can set up so we avoid this crap that is happening, that we get fed. But I don't know, man. State Farm, Patrick Mahomes, Arizona, Andy Reid, Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce. Penalties that should have been called, that weren't called. Penalties that were called that should have been called. There was crap all over the field, I tell you.
Let's talk about Jason Kelce real quick.
Quick
shout out to the big man.
Love him, though. He's awesome.
Dude is the dude of dudes.
I just hate that he's on the Eagles.
I'm cheering for the Eagles in this Super Bowl game. Dennis
I might not even watch this game, dude.
I'm not watching it.
We have to watch it. We have to watch it as a collective, as a unit.
No. Wrong.
Man. Whopper, 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 Whopper. Wait, is that a copyright thing? Can we get hit for
Probably.
that? Well,
so you hit it so spot on, Dennis. Or Corbin.
It was the perfect timing. Like all this stuff is going down. We just cut to commercial and like it's so all this to say, we're gonna throw a little disclaimer in here. If we disappear between now and our next podcast, just know that it's all true. It's Roger Goodell. He came for us.
It's knows Jake from State Farm.
It's Jake from State Farm. No, but just know they came for us, and we told you all the truth, and you heard it here first. Dun dun dun. But anyways, yeah, no, it's bullcrap.
Are you guys excited for the Pro Bowl?
No, the Pro Bowl is always the same.
Aren't they doing flag football this year?
Yeah. What's that all about? I don't know why they even the prestige is gone. The Pro Bowl is not. It used to be prestigious. Now it's just like,
no,
it wasn't fan vote.
I'm talking about way back in the day. Used like people
Sean Taylor days,
even earlier.
Hey, since we're off the rails right now, Dennis, I know, Joe, you don't watch this too much, but Dennis, I want to talk about this real quick. How is Kyrie Irving the #1 voted player in the NBA right now? Like, how is he ranked 1? Did you see that?
I couldn't tell you.
Like, what the heck?
I mean, he's had a great year.
Yeah, I mean, he's balling, but still, like, after everything that's been going on with him in his career and then everybody trying to cancel him, like really? He's going to be voted #1? It's weird. He was like fan ranked 1, I think, for the All-Star game, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, so they're doing, I didn't know that. They're doing flag football for the Pro Bowl this year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing a regular game.
So what's the point of even having a Pro Bowl?
Let's get together, do drugs, hang out.
Whoa. Hold on, gentlemen. I have lost audio. So y'all keep talking. I'm going to have to figure this out while I disappear.
Dennis, you excited for the Busch clash coming up in the LA Coliseum this weekend?
Completely honest with you, I'm not that excited for it.
But it is stock car racing.
It is stock car racing. And I will watch it. Maybe. Ooh, I'll be in Miami. Maybe not.
Location.
But
yeah, I have a lot of opinions on the Busch Clash.
I don't.
Is it even called the Busch Clash anymore? Or is it just like the Clash at the Coliseum now?
It's just the Clash. Let's call it the Clash.
The Clash.
Are we talking NASCAR?
Yeah.
Of course we are.
Oh, true. Hey, go Denny Hamlin. That's all I know. We ride with Denny and Kurt Busch.
He's not okay. Never mind. Whoa, we'll get into that later.
Sore subject.
That's a hard topic.
No, but, I mean, it's stock car racing, but it's on a tiny little track, and
I love quarter mile racing though.
It really doesn't count for anything. I don't know.
It's something at least.
It's barely something.
Real quick, for those watching, if you've made it this far in the video, do you guys want to see us do breakdowns of March Madness when it hits there? Because I think that would be a lot of fun for us. Like, we could do a whole thing. Like, if y'all want to see something like that, we could each do our brackets and post them, and then you guys take a vote. Let us know in the comments if that's what you'd like to see. I mean, but we'll see. But I thought I might be down for it. So,
No,
because March Madness is coming up too, isn't it? It's almost, we got what, 1 month left before we get there.
you struggled a lot saying that, and I appreciate it.
But sometimes my brain just doesn't work, you know. But
Somebody
no, I
might
think
be-
that'd be a lot of fun. Do a March.
Yeah, we need to
Madness
find
breakdown.
something to kind of deep dive into once football season's completely over.
I think we do NASCAR and golf
golf.
and NCAA. We'll have some time with NCAA, and every once in a while we should throw in some things about like proceedings in the off season, like what's going on in the
Of
off season with
course.
like NCAA football or NFL.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about coaching and whatnot. And then when the draft comes around, we're gonna dive in. We might have something special for the draft.
I think that'd be fun. I think we could do a little. We won't say what it is right now, but
It's a surprise for all of our.
this podcast has gotten so
customers.
off the rails right now. We are
I was
not
about to
even
say, can we
close.
stop recording? Like,
No, this is the
it's
best.
just
This
this
is what
is
makes
just
it good.
yeah. This is just the boys talking. But yeah, no,
a little NBA playoffs.
I think we should talk NBA playoffs. I think
Yeah, I'll
I
be
think this
absent.
year would be good. Also, Jordan Poole, he's a dog, dude.
Nah,
He's a dog. Why you hate Jordan Poole?
He's not that guy.
He does strike me as very arrogant, though. He strikes me as a really arrogant guy. But
Not
I
that
don't
guy.
know. Joe, you're gonna have to start watching some NBA.
You guys think birds are real?
Nah, man. I was actually gonna ask them. Like, did y'all watch the Last of Us episode? last
Yeah, I
night?
did.
That was crap.
No, I haven't.
Hey,
It was- it didn't-
objectively, really good TV show.
Yeah,
Really good episode of TV.
yeah. I wish it had advanced the story more. Maybe like 15 less minutes of Bill and Frank, and then like a little bit more of just Ellen, Joel.
Or, you could do some Joel interaction with Bill.
Yeah,
That's my 2 cents.
yeah. It could have been a lot better. Joe, what are you watching here lately? Which is so off the last 5 minutes of
everything.
podcast.
I can tell though, but wait, like the way Dennis looks and is acting tonight, he's been diving into Yellowstone.
Oh, big
Oh,
time.
God. Oh, baby. The
Should
best
we
show
do-
of it. It's the best TV I've ever seen.
He's a little late to the party, but he's getting there now. It's all.
I
that
haven't
matters.
even started yet. I need to start it, don't I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
do.
do.
Oh,
It's the best
all right,
TV I've ever
I'll check it out. Honestly, we should do just a whole separate podcast of us just talking, shooting it
That's
around.
what this one's going to turn into.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be
But-
3 white guys with an opinion.
that is not allowed to be said. Thank you guys for stopping by with us. Hope you enjoyed that last little bit of just us talking. Like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell. Bell, not Bill. And check in with us next
Bill.
time. Bill is gone. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.